Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. In the last episode, I lost a heartbreaker to the Duke Blue Devils, and I really hope that you guys roasted me in the comments. By the way, quick shameless plug, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/yolag. I will probably be doing a live stream Dynasty as well, where we do some simulating, some play the moments, and it generally moves a lot faster. So if that's something you'd be interested in, go follow me over there, twitch.tv/yolag. Shameless plug over. Let's see what's going on around college football. Here's the conference standings for the first time. A lot of the teams have only played 3 games, but it is interesting to see how everyone is doing. That Duke team is now 3-0 after beating us. In the American, which is a conference we could join next season, here is how everyone is doing. The American is probably the strongest of the group of 5 conferences, at least in college football 25. Big 12 standings look like this. There's a few undefeated teams. Not a lot of conference play has happened yet. And here is the Big 10, a ton of undefeated teams still, including Maryland. So every team we have lost to has yet to lose this season. There is not a single undefeated team left in the Conference USA. As for the independents, we're 1-2 and the other 2 are 2-1. Here's the standings in the MAC. No undefeated teams here either. And the Mountain West, also no undefeated teams. The Pac-2 has Oregon State and Washington State, who are both 2-1. The SEC has a ton of undefeated teams, unsurprisingly. Here's the standings in the Sun Belt so far, and that's just about everyone. We have no hours for recruiting this week. All of our hours are currently locked up. I'm really trying to get these top guys and then kind of move on to some smaller name guys. Also, I found one of my favorite names so far, which is Benji Butt. There are a few guys we're not even putting points into that are very close to committing to UConn, including left guard John Abram, a 1-star right outside linebacker in Kevin O'Dowd, and a 1-star tight end in Cornell Fink. I have brought Percy Moma back into our recruiting board. I did have him removed for a little while. He's a 4-star wide receiver that has us in his top 4, despite the fact that we basically hadn't been pursuing him super heavily. Wide receiver, not really a need for us, but when you can get a guy with Percy Moma's capabilities, I think you go after him. We'll kind of see how this next week goes and see if we can manage to stay in the race. You know what's kind of interesting, despite the fact that we're not in a conference, our conference prestige logo there on the left is the American logo. So are we getting the Americans conference prestige despite the fact that we're not in it? It seems like maybe we are. Well, now that I'm looking at the Florida Atlantic Owls, a team that is very much in the American, their conference prestige is a B- with the American logo. So perhaps the American logo is just the placeholder logo for the FBS independents, and our conference prestige as an independent is so high because Notre Dame exists. So now that I'm thinking about it, joining the American conference maybe not the best bet for UConn because it actually damages our conference prestige. So it's probably for the best to either, 1, remain independent for another season, or maybe move to one of the Power 4 conferences and maybe a weaker one like the Big 12, which would push our conference prestige to an A-, because the conference prestige is going to affect our ability to recruit. For recruits that care about conference prestige, the higher the better, and going to the American actually hurts us in that regard. Let me know what you guys think though. I do think that the roster is going to get a decent bit worse next season, and joining the Big 12 doesn't exactly sound ideal when we're probably going to be below a 78 overall. So maybe it's 2 seasons as an independent and then we'll move on to the Big 12 or one of the other Power 4 conferences. Welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty, everybody. I promised a win at the end of the last episode, and that might have been a little bit ballsy because we are playing a pretty decent Florida Atlantic Owls team. But let's see if the Huskies can bounce back after losing a game they surely should have won against Duke. Huskies will start with the football at their own 25, and out comes the sophomore Nick Evers, who has played pretty well in the last couple of games. The sun is setting at our backs, and Nick Evers out of the shotgun as Victor Rosa in motion. Looks like it is man coverage, and we're gonna get laid out immediately. It's Chris Jones, not the one on the Chiefs, obviously, but he did force us to lose 5 yards, and that play has otherwise been money this season. So on 2nd and 15, we will attempt to go to the air, and we'll just throw this underneath to the tight end, but he drops it after the hit. This is not feeling like the best start for the UConn Huskies. Evers, though, gonna lob this one up towards Sheffield. It's tipped away, and the Huskies are gonna go 3 and out to start the day. The Owls are led by junior quarterback Cameron Fancher, who is a lefty, it looks like. Halfback George Johnson III, and the junior behind him in Zuberi Mobley. Their wide receivers are Marlon Johnson, Milan Tucker, and E.J. Horton. And then the best part of their offense is tight end Zeke Moore, who is a sophomore and already an 82 overall. First and 10 Owls from their own 39. Decent field position. Our punter does not have the best leg. 9 minutes left in the first quarter, and it's a carry to Johnson, and he gets 5 yards. On second down, Johnson in the backfield, and it will be a handoff to him, and not a lot of room to work with to the left side. It's a loss of a yard. It's Zachary Spears on the tackle. I'm also realizing that his name could actually just be pronounced Zachary with a more unique spelling. But you let me know as we're looking down the field with the Owls, and that is caught. Cameron Fancher, a great throw, and they'll go with tempo. First and 10 at the UConn 32, calling an audible. Stadium pulse is still going a little bit, but starting to die out a touch. The crowd is not in attendance today, as that's a loss of 2 yards. I mean, just look in the background at how empty those seats are. There is nobody here to watch the UConn Huskies throw over the middle, and that one is going to get to the 23, 3rd and 2. Fancher out of the shotgun with Johnson to his left. 3rd down and 2, and they'll get their man over the middle. Room to work with, got a block downfield as well, down at the 6. And it's 1st and goal for the Owls. It has been near impossible to stop this passing game. It seems like the run defense is there, but that the pass defense is not. And as I say that, they get a touchdown on the ground. Johnson III finds the end zone, and the Owls will take an early lead on the UConn Huskies. 1st and 10 UConn now in a 7-0 hole. And the offense was not easy to come by last time. Victor Rosa finds a lane to the left side this time, though, and that's a pickup of 9. We were off to a bad start on the last drive after the immediate loss of 5 yards. We're going to try that play again, though, and no blocking again. Brett Buckman missed his block, and it's a loss of 4 this time. Guess you could say it's a 1-yard improvement off the previous attempt, but obviously not what we've been wanting as we try to go over the middle. No time to throw for Nick Evers. And the Huskies go 3 and out again. It's looking like it might be a long day if you're a UConn Huskies fan. This FAU defense has been no joke so far, and our defense is nothing but a joke. Now we find ourselves in a 3rd and 14 situation. Could get a stop defensively, perhaps. Back to throw over the middle, finding his man. Just need to make a tackle, and we do so. It'll be a 3 and out for the FAU Owls. Well, the defense got a stop. Can the offense pay it forward by getting some points on the board, or even really just a 1st down would be nice, as Cam Edwards gets a pickup of 3. 2nd and 7 from the 24, and it's Victor Rosa who's going to get the carry this time. And he'll get 5 more yards, and now it's a 3rd and 2 situation. Going to the air has not worked well for the Huskies so far today. We'll try the ground one more time. Cam Edwards cuts it up just to guarantee the 1st down, and that is the first down for the Huskies today. Nearing the end of the first quarter, Evers back to pass. Just looking to get a completed one to start the day. It's Gathings on the reception. Technically, Evers has completed 2 other passes, as that jet end-around type of play is a pass play. It's a jet touch pass. So Evers currently 3 completions for -5 yards on the day. Let's get some positive yards going, as that one is to Nick Harris, and that will end the first quarter. Slowly but surely, the Huskies are moving forward on this drive, which is a definite improvement on what we were doing before, as Rosa gets 3 yards. There really has not been much room to work with on the ground so far today. We'll go back to it here. Rosa has to cut it up the middle due to the blitzing corner. No gain. Now we find ourselves in a 3rd and 7 situation. Evers back to pass, wants Buckman on the right side, makes the grab but goes out of bounds. The throw was too late, and now it's 4th and 2. I think we have to punt it away here. Slow and steady, most definitely not winning the race for the Huskies, as it's a read option and a keeper for the quarterback. Down he goes, but has a pickup of 6. Make it 2nd down and 4, 8 minutes left in the first half. It's a handoff to Johnson III, Gets maybe a yard, and now it is 3rd down. Might they go to the air here? Let's find out. 3rd and 3 over the middle. That is caught. Well played by the defender, too. Just couldn't punch it out. They get 2nd down and 9. 6 minutes left to play here in the first half. Fancher handoff Johnson again. Not much room to work with. He does get 3 yards, and that makes it 3rd down and 6. As back to passes, Fancher over the middle again, finds his man, and it's an easy 1st down for FAU. Our man coverage has been so horrendous this season that I am pretty much strictly calling zone, and they've been underneath it a lot of times, and we can't get to the quarterback either. Way downfield, knocked away. Well played by the safety. 3rd and 9. As Fancher will look to throw, has time, has a man over the middle again, and it's the same thing every drive. They just go to that play with a short throw over the middle. They get the run after catch to get the 1st down, rinse and repeat. As now they'll go to the running back, and that's a completion for a pickup of 4. Now we find ourselves on a 2nd and 6 on the UConn side of the field. 3 minutes left to play in the half, and a huge lane up the middle for Johnson the 3rd. Will he take this to the house? No, not quite. Chased down from behind, but gets all the way to the 3. 1st and goal for the Owls. Now with only 2.5 minutes left in the half, Fancher will look to throw, goes over the middle, and it is punched out incomplete. 2nd and goal from the 3, and they will go to the ground this time. Johnson can't find his way into the end zone, and that brings us to 3rd and goal from the 1 after the 2-minute warning. And it's a designed quarterback run, and it works out for Fancher. Touchdown, Owls. Florida Atlantic, slow and steady throughout that drive, got them to several 3rd downs, couldn't get the stop, and eventually they find 6. It'll be 14-0 when UConn takes back over. Less than a minute remaining for the offense to try to find some points, and I believe the Owls start with the ball in the second half even, making this even a bit more challenging. We get this to Brett Buckman, though, and this is one of the most positive gains we'd have all day. A minute 47 left, and we'll set up a screenplay for Victor Rosa, hopefully, but he can't get out of the way of the lineman. Incomplete. You know, for a guy who was the player of the week a week ago, TJ Sheffield been awfully quiet today. Evers going to throw over the middle, looking for him, and it's fumbled around and then intercepted. A broken tackle as well from the FAU defender, and things are going from bad to worse. We try to get it to the star receiver. It's bobbled and then intercepted. You guys remember at the end of last episode when I said I was guaranteeing a win against Florida Atlantic? Oh man, it's fun to reminisce, isn't it? As we'll look downfield with Fantry, finds his man in the middle of the zone, and there is a flag down looking like it's going to be on FAU. It was an ineligible receiver, so obviously we'll let them try again. 1st and 15 after the penalty. Minute 29 left in the half. FAU could find some additional points as well as getting the ball back. And they're going to get a run from Fancher here, and he'll fumble it, and it's recovered by UConn. I'm not confident that that was actually a fumble. I think he may have been down. I guess we'll see if this is reviewed, but for now it's UConn Huskies football. That could be a huge break for us. No review happening. It is just a fumble from the quarterback Fancher, and the Huskies do indeed have the football. As we'll go underneath, trying to find TJ Sheffield, broken up. 2nd and 10 from our own 31. We'll look to throw, and we'll just dump this off to Cam Edwards, just looking for any positive yards, really. This defense has been stifling. Now there's about a minute left. 3rd down and 7, and we look to throw again, and we go to Sheffield again, but it's not enough for the first. I did have a couple options here. I know you guys might have been yelling at me to hit circle, and that's definitely what I wanted. There's a window right here where he would have been open. And there's also the flat for Victor Rosa, which is probably my best option in hindsight. I definitely couldn't have hit circle. I mean, look at this time. If I throw it here to circle, it's getting picked. I had to wait until about here to press the button, and by that point, Nick Evers is already taking the hit. Got it to TJ Sheffield in hopes that we could make something happen to get the first. There's been 0 time to throw for Nick Evers. Definitely should have gone to Victor Rosa on the left, though. 48 seconds left in the half, and FAU has the ball again. We just can't do anything on offense as UConn today. Fancher over the middle. That one is caught. Our coverage has been absolutely horrendous. Fancher is out of the shotgun. Johnson to his left. Can we get a stop? Can we get any pressure on the quarterback? Yes, we can is the answer. Finally, a sack after he's had all day to throw today. I might even argue that he had all day to throw there, but just couldn't get it off in time. 2nd and 18 as Fancher is back to pass. Again, can't get any pressure. He dumps it off to the running back, and that's, I think, a 1-yard pickup. They've used their final timeout. There's 25 seconds left in the half. It's 3rd and 17. They're going to the ground with Johnson. Finds a lane to the outside, and he gets the first down yardage on a 3rd and 17. If that doesn't describe how this game is going for UConn so far today, I just don't know what will. Nothing is going our way, even when we have the best possibilities. This time it's a throwaway. It'll be 2nd and 10. 12 seconds left. They're still not in field goal range. There is still an opportunity for us to get out of here with no further points before the half. Again, no pressure, though it is only a 3-man rush. But when he has this much time, he's going to find a man, and he does just that. And it is a 1st and 10, 2 seconds left. They're in the hurry up. Will they actually be able to snap this ball? No, they will not. So that does end the half anyway. But man, oh man, something has to change for this UConn Huskies team. We are lucky that it is only 14-0 at halftime. It could easily be 28-0 or maybe even worse. As I mentioned before, FAU does start with the football here in the second half. The defense honestly has played admirably. I think it's mostly the offense that has let us down today, which has not previously been the case. Look at this pocket. Just absolutely all day to throw. Has a man down the field and it's caught. What are we supposed to do when we can't get any pass rush? 1st and 10 already in the red zone for FAU. At this point, if we want any pressure, we just have to send blitzes every single play, and I think that's probably what I'll be doing from here on out. Fancher over the middle, has a man wide open though, breaks a tackle down at the 1, 1st and goal FAU. This is hard to watch. This is a team I thought we'd be a lot more even against, but I had a way easier time against Duke. Down goes Fancher though. Finally, we're in the backfield. I was not joking when I said I'm just sending blitzes every play, and it's worked pretty well on the last 2. Can we get it one more time? No pressure, all day to throw, and it results in a Florida Atlantic touchdown. I don't really think it was ever in doubt after the huge play down the field. Man, oh man, this FAU offensive line is making us look silly. It'll be 21-0 when UConn takes over. If you're curious about the ratings on this O-line, 78 left tackle, 78 left guard, 85 center. They do have a very good center, 74 right guard, and a 77 right tackle. It's not even like that's that good of an offensive line. At this point, something has to change. Do we need to plug in some new players? This game has been dominated by the Florida Atlantic Owls. It has been an embarrassing showing offensively for the UConn Huskies, and it's just going to continue. 2nd and 9 from the 20, and it's a handoff to Victor Rosa, a running lane. Finally, some positive yards on the ground. Absolutely have to score on this drive for any sort of chance at a victory today. And on this play, we're going to dump it off to the running back with Victor Rosa. He cannot make a man miss. That's one of those situations I just wanted to get it into the hands of a playmaker, hoping he can make one man miss, because if he does, he gets a long ways, but he just couldn't do it. Now we'll look to throw again. Go TJ Sheffield underneath, but he can't hold on. I mean, what can you do? We have to get the ball out quickly because there's just no time to throw. But when we try to, it's inaccurate from Nick Evers this time, or we're under pressure immediately, or it's a drop from the receiver. Nothing is going right for the Huskies. I think that we get the point. This team is down and out. They're getting picked on. Let's just put them out of their misery. They do get on the board without me controlling them. Wait a minute, it's 13-21 with 1:40 left. Maybe I should just let them simulate all the time. If there is a stop here, there's a chance for UConn, as they'll be looking to throw with FAU here just all kinds of time again. It just seems like when I hop in, we can't get anything going. When I simulate, the offense is fine. Game over. FAU dominates UConn, who did make a comeback in the 4th. getting 13 points on the board. But man, that game was so difficult. Nothing changed about the settings. I did not make any adjustments to the sliders. It's still default Heisman, the same as it was against Duke. I had no problems running the offense against Duke. I couldn't run the offense at all against FAU. Don't worry, I'm not going to let that be the only game this episode. We are most definitely going to play another one. But the Huskies are now 1-3, and it does feel like the season is kind of slipping away. Let's go ahead and advance the week, see how the recruits feel about that loss to FAU. Unfortunately, we have now lost out on 2 right ends, both of which commit to Boston College. We were so close on Marco Portilla, but he ends up committing to BC, and we weren't all that close on David Bliss. And Robert Schmidt has committed to Rutgers. We're still first on Cornell Fink, and we are first on John Abram. Somehow Jelani Stafford gets Defensive Player of the Week. We're going to get a lot of these just because we're independent. There's only 2 other teams. This next game is against Buffalo, a team that is undeniably worse than us. If there was a time to get a bounce back win, it would be now. Clearly some changes need to be made, and I would like one of those changes to be Shamar Porter getting some playing time. He's a redshirt freshman. He's 6'3" with 92 speed, and I think he brings more to the position than Brett Buckman. I also think Lewis Hansen is a much better receiving tight end, and that's a little bit more what I need right now rather than a slower, bigger Nick Harris. The Huskies are at home once again against Buffalo this time, a team that honestly on paper is not that much better than the FCS squad we bullied a few weeks ago. The Huskies seriously need a bounce back game here, and Buffalo might be the best opportunity. There's also a couple of recruits visiting this week. This would be a huge win for UConn if they can manage. Something's gotta give. Sometimes this offense looks elite, other times it looks like a high school team. Maybe today is one of the elite days, as we'll start with a handoff. Victor Rosa, left guard, gives up his block, but Rosa breaks a couple tackles and gets a first down. That's a little bit more like it. At least we started the day with a first down. And on the fresh set of downs from the 35, it's Victor Rosa again, cuts it back up the middle, but gets blocked by his own guard. This offensive line is really starting to struggle. 2nd and 12 after the loss, Evers back to pass and has no time to throw again. I'm not sure what's going on with redshirt freshman Ben Murawski, but he is just letting defenders through for free. Now we're on to 3rd and a very long 19, and we're going to lob this one up for Brett Buckman, who has a step. Can Evers hit him in stride? He can indeed. And that's a big play we needed to re-energize this offense. 1st and 10 Huskies at the Buffalo 26. On 2nd down, Evers back to pass. Wants his man TJ Sheffield, but it is out of reach. So that brings us to 3rd down and 6. Evers to throw again over the middle, and it's Shamar Porter for the first time. He breaks a tackle and goes down at the 2. 1st and goal, UConn. 2nd and goal from the half-yard line. It's Evers by himself in the backfield, and it's a designed quarterback run, and he'll rush it in. Touchdown, UConn. I think that's just what we needed to start the day against Buffalo, an early offensive touchdown. Let's see if the offense can get back on track today against a weaker opponent. The Buffalo Bulls are quarterbacked by CJ Ogbonna, a high-speed senior quarterback. Their halfback is Jaquez Barksdale, who is actually quite slow at only an 84 speed. They also have Al J. Henderson, a junior out of New Jersey. Wide receivers are JJ Jenkins, Nick McMillan, Chance Morrow, and Taji Johnson. And the tight end is Jake Orlando. We saw how poor this defense was against the pass a week ago. Let's see if they can do a little bit better today. Specifically, the pass rush was just not there. The run defense has been solid all year, though. Makes it 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup. Ogbonna wears the number 10. He's out of the shotgun, has a man in motion, and it is a handoff to the running back. Famuina Brown will bring him down, and it's not quite a first. My assumption would be that they're going to the ground here. No, they are actually going to the air, but it is a check down to the running back, but it works out because we sent the blitz. 1st and 10 Bulls. Now make it 2nd down and 4. 3:14 left here in the first quarter. Throw immediately from the quarterback. Ogbonna finds his man, and it's a 1st down. So that'll make it 2nd down and 10. And they may go to the ground here. Indeed, they will. A broken tackle gets some extra yards for the Bulls. It's 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4 from the 42, a minute and a half left in the first. Over the middle, incomplete. Well played by the safety. And the Bulls will have to punt it away. A great stop from the UConn defense. 1st and 10 from our own 20 as UConn takes back over with just a little bit of time left in the first, and the right guard once again cannot hold his block. 2nd and 13 after the big loss on the running play. And we will go to the air here. Lobbing this one up for TJ Sheffield, wide open by himself down the field and to the enemy side of the field on the 47. Clearly when TJ Sheffield plays well, the offense plays well. Now we're on 1st and 10, nearing the end of the first quarter. And for the first time, we'll find Lewis Hansen today, and that will bring us to the end of the first. 2nd down and 5 to start the second quarter. We've got a man open over the middle. It's Porter. He'll get his second grab of the day down to the 32. The offense not having much problem moving the football today. As now from the 32, it's a handoff. Cam Edwards. I was not looking at the backfield. Edwards makes a move and gets to the 15. I was so used to Rosa being back there during this drive that it kind of surprised me when we were handing it off to Cam Edwards. Rosa now in the backfield this time. And from the 15, we'll look to throw. And we'll find our man. It's Porter once again. I love the increased speed he brings to the offense. He's replacing Buckman, who has 86 speed. Porter has 92 and is quite a bit bigger. 2nd and 4 from the 9. Cam Edwards will get the carry here. Great blocking, and it's a touchdown for the Huskies. So the offense evidently can play well only against opponents that are significantly worse than them. And also the first half versus Duke, I guess. Buffalo finds themselves down 14-0 here against UConn. As Ogbonna will fake the handoff and look to throw under some pressure, checks it down to the running back. Great open field tackle there. That was Frank Briggs on the tackle. Definitely need to learn a little bit more about this defense. I feel like we've primarily been focused on the offense for the first half of the season so far, and the defense has been playing arguably better at times. It is 3rd and 4 after that short pickup. From the 27, 7:30 left in the first half. Ogbonna out of the shotgun. Will look to throw. Throws immediately, and it is caught by his favorite wide receiver. And it's a 1st and 10 to the 46. And they're playing with tempo, trying to tire us out. Clearly, they've seen the scouting report. We keep losing to teams that play with tempo. It's a carry, and this time goes for 4 yards to the 50. Ogbonna takes the snap on 2nd down, hands off Barksdale, and he's going to be just short of the line to gain. 3rd and 1. They're going to the hurry up. And whenever they've gone to the hurry up, they've gone to the air. Will they do so here on 3rd and 1? No, it is a handoff. Tripped up, but gets the first down, does Barksdale. Once again, with tempo. 6 minutes left to play in the first half. Ogbonna back to pass. Stafford gets in the backfield, but not in time. Open underneath is the tight end, and that's another first down. So the Buffalo Bulls moving right along during this drive now that they're going with tempo. Clearly, we do not do well against tempo, but a great play defensively on the blitz. It's a loss of 2. Lee Millette the third with the TFL. And now it's 2nd and 12 from the 33. 5 minutes left in the first half. Ogbonna hands off Barksdale, room to run, good blocking downfield. And on that 3rd and 4, they're in tempo again. And they will go to the air. Running out of time, Stafford is there, and it is a first down. I cannot believe that's ruled a first down. Tempo once again for the Bulls. And Ogbonna out of the shotgun to throw again, over the middle, finds his man, flag is down. I think that may have been roughing the passer. It in fact was roughing the passer on Spears, and now it's basically goal to go. They're from the 11, really the 10.5 if you look at where the ball is placed. 1st and 10, 4:32 left. And it's a handoff and brought down by Lee Millette again. No gain on the play. I don't think that'll count as a TFL, but a great play from the safety that sometimes plays linebacker. 2nd and 10. Quick throw to the outside, broken tackle, and then brought down at the 2. It's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2 from the 2. They can technically get a fresh set of downs without the touchdown. as it is a handoff. Barton is right there, though, and well played, and an injury to Al-J Henderson, the backup running back. That forces a 4th and 2 as well, so they will line up for the field goal. If they're anything like me, they're going to whiff this because I cannot kick from the hashes. They can't either. A missed field goal from the Buffalo Bulls kicker, and UConn takes over at the 20. Well, it's good to know that it's not just me that can't kick. It's also the AI. 3:15 left in the second quarter, as we're going to start with a handoff to Cam Edwards. Jukes out a defender in the middle. Did not get the blocks we wanted. 3rd down, 4 to go. 2 minutes left. And we will go to Lewis Hanson, the tight end. I like his slightly increased speed, and that does bring us to the 2-minute warning. From the 33, Evers is back to pass. Will look to throw. Has Josiah Gathings all the way by himself on the right side. One man to beat. Jukes him out. Another man to beat. Outruns him. Can he get to the end zone? Touchdown, UConn. Josiah Gathings makes a move in the open field after getting wide open, and the Huskies strike again. An argument to be made here that maybe we scored a little too fast. It gives the Bulls an opportunity to get on the board, but the defense has played so well against them. I don't have a lot of faith in their offense at this point, as it should be 21-0, assuming I can make a PAT. Buffalo with a minute 46. Offense worked a lot better on the last drive once they started going with tempo. That one is incomplete, though. I expect that we'll probably see them continue with tempo, assuming they can achieve any positive yardage, any completions over the middle, finding the man. Ref nearly getting in the way. 1st and 10, though, and they will go with tempo. 1.5 minutes left. Back to pass. All kinds of time. Stafford couldn't get through. Spears with a big hit, but holds on to the football. A pickup of 5. Clock's still ticking, 1 minute and 20 left, and they're still going with tempo. Stafford in the backfield, but over the middle, finding the running back, the bailout man, and they will burn their first time out. They're not really throwing down the field. I guess you don't need to. There's still a decent chunk of time, and with the clock stopping every time you get a first down, that certainly helps out. Under 50 seconds left to play in the first half. Buffalo moving down the field with ease on this drive. Ogbonna throws, intercepted by Zachary Spears. This has potential to be a pick 6. Quarterback the only man to beat. Spears can't outrun him. They save a touchdown on the pick 6 attempt, but it's Spears with the interception, and UConn is dominating here against the Buffalo Bulls. Well, it appears that perhaps we're one of those teams that can pick on weaker opponents, but gets torched by anyone around our skill level or better. 35 seconds still left as we'll look to throw, and I hesitated, so we take the sack with Nick Evers. Try again on 2nd and 18 after using the first timeout. Go over the middle, finding Porter as the corner overextended there. That was an interesting play. 3rd and 6, 21 seconds left, as we're just going to throw immediately for Lewis Hanson over the middle, and he falls into the end zone. He got cut down, but fell with the football, crossing the line, and it's a touchdown for the UConn Huskies. And it's going to be 28-0 heading into halftime. To halftime we go. Player spotlight is on Josiah Gathings. He only has 1 grab, but it did go for 67 yards and the touchdown. Made that sick move in the open field, outran another safety, and the Huskies are dominating the Bulls. Buffalo starts with the football here in the second half, and it is a must-score situation. Ever since they've started going with tempo, they've been able to move it down the field, but they missed a field goal, failed to get points. Then a pick from the quarterback Ogbonna means that they still have 0 on the board. Will they continue to go with tempo? Apparently it is working at getting them to move down the field, but then they continue to make mistakes. 2nd down and 5. Back to passes. Ogbonna stepping up in the pocket and will take off to run, slides down at the 39. 1st and 10 from that 39. It's an RPO, and it is completed. That is a big wide receiver, number 6. Let's take a look at who that was. That was Chance Morrow, and he is 6'6". Let's look out for this guy in the transfer portal. He actually doesn't seem overly special. It's just nice to have big-bodied receivers. 2nd and 6, and it's a handoff. Barksdale, well played by the linebacker. That was one of our star players, Julian Simon. And the nice thing about Julian Simon, he's only a junior, so we might have him back next season as long as he doesn't declare or leave in the transfer portal. Probably not quite good enough to be declaring for the draft, but could very easily leave through the transfer portal. I don't know if I'd want to play at UConn after a season like this, as now we'll go to 4th down for the Bulls. Failing to convert in this game pretty much feels over. Let's do one drive with the backup offense and see how it goes. This is redshirt freshman Tucker McDonald. He does have very similar attributes to our starting quarterback. Got a man down the field, misses the throw. McDonald a little slower than Nick Evers, a bit more accurate actually at medium, a bit worse at short, and I think deep they are the same. And McDonald has a slightly weaker arm, but they are very, very similar. Oh, not in the fact that one of them has thrown a pick this game and the other one hasn't. I really was not anticipating that being intercepted, but now the Bulls might have some life. 1st and goal for the Bulls. Absolutely gifted that one on a silver platter by the freshman quarterback. Ogbonna back to throw towards the end zone, nearly intercepted. Probably should have been off the deflection. 3rd and goal from the 4. We know that their kicker has missed a short one like this already. If we can stop them, they might not get any points again. And it's gonna be a sack. Down goes Ogbonna. Jack Barton, the senior, with the sack. The only thing is that did line up the field goal for the kicker, and he will make this one. So the Bulls do get on the board. It's 28-3. I've got the starting offense back in other than halfback Darrell Robinson. I want to see what he has a little bit, but obviously it was a mistake to bring in the freshman Tucker McDonald. Robinson, with room to work with, gets 7. 2nd and 3 from the 27. We'll go back to Robinson up the gut, has room to work with, but runs into a defender. 1st and 10 from the 33. We go play action here. And we'll kind of lob this one up for TJ Sheffield, who makes the grab and goes out of bounds at the Buffalo 42. Another fresh set of downs. It's Darrell Robinson in the backfield. Cuts it back up the middle. That was a nice little move by Robinson. Got us a few extra yards where really we didn't deserve any. 2nd and 6, back to the air. Just an easy throw underneath. Get it to Porter. Breaks a tackle and gets to the 23. This is the easiest the offense has felt so far this season. And it's going pretty well for us until this play where Nick Evers goes down. It's a sack. 2nd and 16 for the Huskies after the big loss. Evers back to pass and has Sheffield on the right side by himself, complete and a 1st down. 1st and goal, UConn. 1st and goal from the 9. Handoff, Darrell Robinson, and he can walk it in. Touchdown, Huskies. And this game is over. 35-3 will be the score after the PAT. And let's just put Buffalo out of their misery. Well, the Bulls made it a little bit more respectable there at the end, scoring 21 in the 4th quarter. But 49-24 is the final, and the UConn Huskies able to get the victory. I think when these blowout type games happen, either for us or against us, it's nice to just super sim to the end of it and kind of do a double header in a video. Let me know how you guys feel about that format. Since we were kind of getting killed by the Owls, I thought it just was for the best that we move on and play a new one, and now we're killing the Bulls, so I figured it was for the best that we move on, because we kind of know what the ending's gonna be. If we take a look at player stats, I don't understand how Tucker McDonald's rating is 6,453 when he went 0 for 2 with an interception, but okay. Nick Evers, 289.9, 16 of 18, 88% completion percentage, 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. What a day from Nick Evers. Rushing, it was Darrell Robinson, 10 attempts for 91. He obviously played the entire 4th quarter where we were just killing a bunch of clock. Cam Edwards, 6 for 33, 5.5 a carry. Victor Rosa, not super involved today, at least in the rushing game. Receiving, Shamar Porter, 5 for 62 in his new starting role. TJ Sheffield, 4 for 96 and a touchdown. Lewis Hansen, 3 for 32 and a touchdown. And of course, Josiah Gathings also had a touchdown on a 67-yard reception. Defensively, Spears with 15 total tackles. The guy just continues to get tackles. Millette III also with 11 tackles. These guys are both juniors. Looking forward to having them around if they don't transfer out. Julian Simon with 2 TFLs, a bunch of guys with 1 TFL, and Jack Barton with the only sack. Malik Dixon Williams did get an interception, as did Zachary Spears. That's a level up for head coach Matt Glenn. Now with 10 more of those coaching points, I'm going to put 5 of those points into most influential for defensive linemen. And I'm going to put another 5 into always be Cruton for offensive linemen. We haven't looked at a ton of offensive linemen so far, but we need to start doing that as we do lose a number of our seniors, as well as our offensive line is just not that good. Paul Townsell is officially down to his top 3 schools and we're number 1, but Syracuse is after him as well. We're down to 3rd with Bobby Ware in his top 3. Joey Terrell unfortunately did not commit before selecting his top 5, but we are currently number 1 pretty easily, and we are also number 1 on Jaleel Leo's board, who is down to his top 5 as well, and it looks like Temple is after him. And offensive player of the week, much deserved, goes to Nick Evers. In the next episode, we play Temple, who is a team that is slightly better than us, but very evenly matched. Huskies are now 2-3, but our rivals, the UMass Minutemen, are 4-1 currently. And here is how the top 25 looks. Looks like Georgia lost to Alabama. And so Bama moves up to 3, Georgia down to 5. Penn State lost to Illinois and drops all the way to 14th. And Ole Miss loses to Kentucky and drops to 13th. Louisville, huge loss against Notre Dame, drops down to 18th. And Auburn, a pretty big loss against Oklahoma, is down to 21. Kentucky, after the win, is now ranked. Clemson, after their win over Stanford, is now ranked. And Illinois, after their win over Penn State, is now up to 24th. Washington lost to Rutgers and is down to 25th. Other teams receiving votes: West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Nebraska, USC, Georgia Tech, Kansas State, Maryland, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State, USC, and Utah all dropped from the rankings. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do truly appreciate the continued support. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you in the next episode, where we'll take on Temple and hopefully be able to compete with a team that we are on a similar skill level to.